Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to your game day build-up. This is the Local Pundit. It is the Carabao Cup, and it is Wrexham for their first home game of the season against Hull City. So let's see how we can go today. Can we get redemption? Can we get this team up and running? Interesting to see that we have massive changes, and Paddy is just finishing off getting himself ready. But I'm super excited today and cannot wait for this game to get underway. And I tell you what, guys, while Paddy is getting himself ready, I will get this team up and running for everybody and bring it in to show you. So let's have a look here. And here it is for the team for today. Oh my God. What a lineup. Whew. Well, hello. Steve Barton, $5 super chat already. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Let's get a win today. We'll do great for the lads' confidence. Absolutely couldn't agree more. Hello, Time Copper first in, who came on the show the other day, A to ZEV. Logan Roberts, SKO, on the train to Wrexham. Good on you, Logan Roberts. First time I've seen you chatting in the channel. And here is Paddy. How are you, Paddy? Good morning.
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I'm good. I'm here.
So we are up and running. Can you believe this? Can you believe this lineup for today? Are you surprised?
I'm not totally surprised. I do believe it, but I wasn't sure if he was going to go with this setup or not. I thought he might, but just wasn't sure. So obviously the club are willing to lose this match by playing this sort of team. Now, a lot can be learned from this match, obviously, with a lot of these players. I suppose this is their final opportunity, their final test to prove that they maybe deserve a space in the championship squad. But some of that may already be decided that they're not going to make it. But some of them may have a final shot here to prove that they can step up. Now, if Hull put out a weaker team as well, will it prove that? Look, I don't know. But by this team coming out, they're obviously willing to forfeit this if they don't win it and move on to the league.
Yeah, I agree, Paddy. And it starts, besides AO, it starts right at the back there, willing to start O'Connell and Scar side by side.
Yeah. Not too surprising, I guess. He started it like that near enough at the start of last season. They're both kind of maybe on their way out. Maybe one of them will get into the 25-man squad. So maybe they would be ones in particular that there may be a call on one of them staying or two of them staying, depending on who we bring in still.
Yeah, I think that's the key there, isn't it? Who do, if we're bringing somebody in, because O'Connell got named to the bench probably because he's a little bit more versatile. At the moment, I think Scar's probably the first choice backup centre back. It's an odd way to say it, isn't it? First choice backup.
Yeah, it is an odd way. I think what's more important is probably how he came back in the summer, because we haven't seen any of that really, bar a couple of the matches that they've played. How do they look? What's their fitness like? That can make a big difference when these two are so close together.
Yep. Brian Luke, when is the 25-man squad set? What is it, September? I can't remember the exact date in September.
I think it's pretty much the next day after the transfers close that you have to finalise it, I believe.
So, no, it's going to be interesting. Actually, and guys, I forgot to mention it. Well, not only did I forget to mention it, but the boss forgot to mention it. Today is our 1001st show.
Oh, wow.
So yesterday we had the last show was our 1,000 show. We're up and away. We're over 1,000. Interestingly enough, so across the midfield there, this lineup, I just put it up like a 3-5-2. It might be it might not be that formation. We could move it around, but I'm excited to see how George Evans goes. I think he'll be fine. Obviously, with Ashfield and Lee. Ashfield I'm super excited for. Lee, I think, is really playing for his spot, in my opinion.
Yeah. He is one that could potentially win a spot depending on if any more come in. If he really shows up in this match today.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep. And Hardy and Smith getting the start up front. I mean, any players you're really looking forward to seeing today, or what are you hoping to see out of today's match, Paddy?
The big one for me with this match today, I'm guessing that he has made his decision on pretty much everyone at this stage, with the caveat depending on who they bring in. Like the decision may be, if we get this man, he's out or he stays. Like that may have already been decided. Mm-hmm. I really wonder what's the deal with Ashfield. Is there a chance here that because he's an extra to the squad, I wonder could this show up enough for him to say, okay, we're not going to send you on loan. We're gonna keep you around this season.
Yeah,
probably not. Look, he's young, he has time, but I just wonder if an amazing performance could sneak him to stay with the team. Again, maybe it's already decided.
I tend to go the other way, Paddy. I think he has to have a really bad performance for him not to be named on the squad, because it's an extra player. Yeah, that's just my thought. I mean, like you think about it, like Kiefer Moore going down injured, and that's another guy injured, you'd automatically be down. Like, if you had to name, if your 25-man squad was named before the last game, well, today it'd already be down to 24 players. And with Kiefer Moore being out injured, and we don't know how long that is for yet either, but if he was so therefore by signing Ashfield, you'd be 26 players down to 25.
Yeah, but we know more coming in, so that depends. See, of course, we don't know how they're looking at him, because you could also flip that completely the opposite way, which is how good he does today may depend on how good a loan he gets. Today for him could be the difference between a League Two loan and a League One loan, because maybe there's one or two clubs in League One that might want to take him, but they're unsure because he's still untested. Whereas maybe tonight could prove, okay, we'll take a chance on him, we'll take him on a loan, and he might break into our squad in League One.
And Bruce is saying auditioning for a League Two loan deal. I think Bruce, think he would absolutely go to a League One. Well, I guess a League Two side. If he went to a League Two side, taking Bruce's tack on it, he should absolutely shine.
We would hope so. Yes, that's kind of the idea. Go to League Two for one season max, and then get moved up to League One. Now, if you have an amazing half season, you might get recalled in January and move to a League One team. But I just wonder, is there maybe a lower end League One team that might take a shot on him, or might consider him, if he shines tonight? Maybe there is someone on the fence.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I still think my spidey senses are telling me, and which makes me really happy, because I absolutely thought he was definitely going to get loaned out, which I was fine with. But my spidey senses are telling me now, I think that he'll probably stay in the squad. I could be wrong.
I don't mind him staying. Obviously it's a scenario then he's waiting for a couple of injuries when we really need to go to him. But if he gets that shot and gets a run of 4 or 5 games, proves his quality, that's the chance maybe you might want to take, is you stay and train with a championship team, with championship players, improve your game, and without hoping anyone injury or illness, you hope you get that opportunity to play and shine.
What do you think of this one? Is it possible that Lee is on display for sale or loan as well?
Yes, but he's more of a known quantity for me. I think that's already a done deal if he's doing it, or if he's willing to do it. I don't think someone needs to see him today to make that decision for Lee.
Yeah, I think this is one of Parky's real, if I had to guess, I'd say this is one of Parky's real on-the-fence decisions.
Possibly, because he's such a long contract with us as well. Still has another 2 seasons. He could slip in as part of the 25, and maybe it's an on the fence, and maybe it's depending on how many.
And that might save him, Paddy, is this next comment. Any injury report updates on Cannon and Thomason? Because I think Cannon won't be in the squad until January, in my opinion, be coming back from ACL.
Interesting, because is he back on grass yet?
He's
I
on
think
grass, but I mean,
yeah.
that's still what you'll find is he's on grass only doing linear movements. He's only doing probably only forward movements and not doing any lateral movements with his legs because it puts too much strain on the ligaments. I remember having friends back in the day when I used to play tennis that came back from ACLs, and their first month to 2 months was just all linear movements before they did any lateral movement. So,
Yeah,
but I mean,
Cannon Thomason should only be a couple of weeks, we hope, unless something major came out from the scan.
yeah, I think
You
Thomason
know,
will definitely get named in the squad.
yeah, he'll definitely be named. He's been bought this summer.
Yeah.
Cannon is a very interesting one because even if he was perfectly fit, there is no guarantee he would be making the 25. He would be in danger of being dropped even if he was perfectly fit. So interesting with Cannon to see where he is.
Paddy Habisfication, who came on the Ring and Rant show. This is funny. He got loaned out to Stockport.
You know what? I would happily send them there.
Me too.
I would, and let them get promoted.
Well, they're due. Well, they're pretty much a lock. That's
they're due this season. Yeah.
You know, it's miss out.
I think that would be a great team to go to.
Sorry?
I think that would be a great team for him to go to.
Oh, me too. Well, actually, that would be a great team when you think about it, wouldn't it? Because there's a team that's sort of going to be strong and give you more opportunities to look good. I mean, you're obviously in a good team, you're going to typically look better because teams that are winning.
Exactly. With a strong team around him, he could really shine and gain another promotion.
Yeah. Yep. Skeptical. I like this one. Ashfield having half a season loan would probably be the best case. Would be great for his I am Luke's father. Where are you, I am Luke's father? I just can't remember because Australia, it's BN Sports. I'm not too sure. What are you getting it on today, Paddy?
Best not said.
Okay. And then, I think might be people are saying US, or Ted's saying US Paramount Plus. So if that helps, I'm scrolling through to Wrexham. Kim, Wrexham are never going to sell Elliot Lee. Never say never, Kim. What do you think, Paddy?
I don't think they'll sell him. I think there's too much contract left. I don't think the value is there. The only way I can see a sale happening is if Lee himself is driving it. If he's actively looking to move on completely. He's in a hard position, and let's not dive too deeply into contracts because we've been doing that in the Discord. Disagreements on different levels. This is what happens when you end up with a player on a long contract who potentially can't make the squad. Could be 2 full seasons that he's out of the squad and never comes back. Stays on loans for the next 2 seasons.
That's right. Yep. And if he doesn't go out on loan and ends up sitting, that's not great for your career because then you get to the point where, you become a bit stale. Or other clubs.
I have put my opinion out on this. If the club is willing to give the contract, I do not begrudge any player taking the contract and then sitting on it if they wish to do so.
Yeah, I've got no problem.
It is on the club not to give out long contracts that are not willing to pay. I absolutely will put that on the club. I have disagreed with the majority of the extensions for the timing, not for the actual extension itself. I feel from a business standpoint, they're poorly timed. Now, you can defend it by saying that the club want to look particularly nice. They want to look after their players. And if they want to do that and are willing to eat the cost, that's fine. That's acceptable. I'm not worried about our cash flow scenarios if that's what they're doing. But as a general rule, it looks wrong, the way they're doing it.
And if they, I mean, Paddy, if they are going to pay these guys this money, I mean, look, ultimately, let's make it an easy number. I'll make it easy for people. If it was $1 million contract, $1 million a year, and you go and sell them to now League One club for, $500,000, well, then, you've just got to pay half their wages for the rest of their contract.
Yep.
That's the reality, isn't it? And I think we will start to see some of that, in my opinion. I think that's coming, and I think it's coming very, very soon.
Yeah, the thing is, at the moment, we have been promoted again. So we have moved up into another metric that we're paying. All these new players coming in now are once again on a multiple of kind of what players were on in League One. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not costing the club much. However, if they continue to do this, and we stagnate in Championship for 4 years, 5 years, because we keep making playoffs but don't make it through the playoffs, then you run into a scenario where you will have a very heavy bloated wage bill. Now, we may very well still be able to support it with the revenues we're making if everything stays good, but in the long term, it's not great to continue doing that.
Yeah. Not a good business model, is it?
And they know they're trying for quick promotion, so in theory, the normal thing to do would be to give shorter contracts, because when you move up a division, things change. So look, I understand it from every side. I have my opinion, but it's only my opinion. And at the end of the day, we can afford it, so it's less of an issue.
It's the fun of being a fan, isn't it, Paddy? We're all right.
Some are more right than others.
Yeah, I love this. And Robert Van Loo, that is exactly right. That is what we're doing with Miles right now.
Yeah, Miles has gone out on loan. I'm assuming we're paying partial salary for him. Because not that many loans go out on 100% salary. So, yeah, we'll be paying some of his contract for maybe the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, Dan, interesting you mentioning this about Benjamin Bloom commented that the Akpan bill. We mentioned this the other day on the channel. Absolutely. It is the rumour getting around there, but it's nothing's locked in yet. We're just hoping to see. I mean, we're hoping to see a couple more guys come in, and these are the sorts of rumours that are going to be out there now.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because obviously you have to have a backup, and then maybe you need to have a backup for a backup. And if everything goes down to the wire and you get to the final week, and then you get to the final 3 days, and then you get to the final day, stuff just has to get over the line. So there's only so long you can wait before, well, my backup is now available, I can take him, am I moving? You know, that's all the fun of the final transfer window, because everything rolls down from up above. We still have the Prem above us, which can affect us, especially if we're trying to take players out of the parachute teams who are looking for players out of the Prem. So we're still there with a couple of teams above us that they affect us, and we have to wait for them to make their moves, and then a massive domino can flow down through all of the different leagues. And that could be the case for some of our loans. We could have loans lined up for multiple players, and we're just waiting to get our new players in too. And if they come in, you're on loan. But if we lose out and they don't come in and the contract doesn't happen, sorry, you're not moving on your loan. We do need you for bulk, just in case of injury.
And
this is the domino of the late window.
It's funny you say that, Paddy. I was just about to say, and this is the way the dominoes fall.
Yeah.
Because
it's the fun of it when you're at this stage, yeah.
Oh, well, this is what makes everybody so nervous at the moment about who's going where, who's going on loan, who are we getting in. I mean, look, Broadhead's dad posted that he was coming to Wrexham, and obviously the club then said, no, you're not going anywhere yet because we need you.
and unfortunately, and unfortunately, this is how you can end up with a player you didn't really want, or a player that doesn't particularly suit your formation or your team. You have someone who's kind of okay in 3 different positions, but they're not going to steal a position in any of them. And you buy them in just to have extra depth and cover. If nobody goes injured, they never play, and then they look like a horrible signing 2 years down the road. But sometimes that happens at the end of the window.
Yeah, and a player you look at the Broadhead situation, I think it's pretty clear he wants to come.
Yes.
But if the club, so he's in a club going, I really want to be playing at another club. But at the end of the day, I mean, they're professional footballers. They're going to go out there and do their best anyway. Yeah, here we go. This guy with his comments.
Yeah.
Palmer to score off the bench tonight. Well, and if he does, there
Yeah.
we go. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Time Copper saying 4 more signings, he thinks. Well, I mean, I don't know. Let's see.
It's
If 4 more
possible.
signings come, well, there's some shuffling going to happen.
Yeah, there is. And it really depends how far up the table they want to push. And this is the thing. Are they really going for it than they need maybe 4? But we have brought in enough as a start with let's say 2 more. If we have 2 more really solid signings, that's a perfectly acceptable first window to be comfortable year 1. And then if we do similar again next summer, like we've replaced basically the first 11 twice then by next summer, because we'll add the January window.
Yep.
And now we have 22 new players, a double 11, all since championship.
Well, if you're somewhere 8th to 12th, Paddy, come January, then you're definitely shopping to try and get yourselves in the playoff, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I think that's totally, and that is by every metric from what I've seen from all the matches I watched on the weekend, and admittedly only 1 game of the season, but that is something that is totally doable on our end if we can, just get some across the line and not, unfortunately, screw the pooch in the last few minutes against a good team.
And the thing is, like, let's say we want to go for playoffs this summer and miss out, but get close, and then we upgrade the team next summer and say, okay, now we're ready for playoffs. Well, what happens if this season, first and second are Sheffield United and Birmingham, 2 new teams who are going up, basically on the end of parachute payment or no payment, and then you have the 3 teams left over from this season coming down. One of them will probably go up through the playoffs. So you have 2 still here on massive parachute payments and 3 new teams coming back down. Next season might be an absolutely ridiculous league to try and win, or to try and get up into playoffs.
And how's this? Department of Redundancy Department. There's a great name. Hi from Geneva, Switzerland. Well, what is it? It is coming into autumn for you. So it's getting cooler. So feel free to have a nice hot chocolate on us.
Yeah, Aaron's saying there about January. Sorry, I interrupted you. Finish again.
Oh, no, you're right. I was just going to say, welcome to the channel, and feel free to subscribe. And, if you want to become a member, feel free to for members only shows. But where you go, Paddy?
Yes, Aaron here is saying he thinks we'll spend in January no matter what. Yeah, absolutely. Because ultimately we need to bulk up this squad as quickly as we can. So January for me, obviously, if we're close to the playoffs, then they might push even harder to get there. However, even if we're not actively pushing for this season, they will be bulking up for next season. And January window could very well be a case of we will buy if someone is suitable turns up. We don't particularly need them as such. Our season is fine, and it might be a position we're already a little bit stacked in. But if the perfect player comes up on good price, good value, I could see us taking them just to bulk out a team and to have a position that you do not need to upgrade in the summer.
Yeah, and you're just trying to keep the strengthening of the squad. And if you think of it, not even as a 1-year plan, as a 2-year plan. This is part getting a guy ready for the real push next year if we're not in that position. If we're not in that position this year.
Yeah. Because if you think over 2 seasons, next summer, this summer, and January, we would at that point almost the target would be first 2. We would want to be pushing for the hope of a top 2. Now, we'd want to be almost guaranteeing ourselves playoffs as much as you can in championship. I know stuff happens and someone will probably come at me for saying that. But, we would want our squad after that point to be strong enough to actively have a shot at the top 2. Now, I know we don't have the money, the parachute payment, stuff like that. That does hurt us. And it does make it hard depending on how many come down, how many are second-year parachute payments, all that. All affects it, yes. But you would be hoping then that 3rd season you are actively looking for a chance to push into top two.
Yep. And Steve Barton's at it again. Look at Steve. Another 5 memberships for people out there. If you do get a membership from Steve, guys, do not forget to thank him in the chat. The chat is going off here this morning. But what I was going to, I'll just say today, because it's morning for me. Sorry about that, guys, for wherever you are in the world. But, Paddy, this bench, and look, obviously the bench is stronger than a lot of the players on the pitch. Yeah. This is the sort of strength that you need to be putting people to the sword.
Yeah, that's the problem we have at the moment, and we partially saw at the weekend with our first match. Is our bench to come on is not strong enough, not compared to the bigger teams, the higher end teams of the championship. They have what we had last season, where the team is tired, the defense's legs are starting to go, and then we start making substitutes, and they go, "Oh, for God's sake!"
Yeah, you bring on a Kakache or a Windass, a guy at that level, O'Brien, that can just absolutely, tear someone apart.
So the more top end teams certainly have that over us at the moment. Mm-hmm. Is that we'll be in danger in those last 15 minutes when they bring on the fresh legs and they're as good as the players that are coming off, whereas we may not be. When we're making changes, it may be a small drop down between the player coming off and the player coming on, which is not great.
No. But I mean, look, this is, and like we get, well, if we got 4 more signings, that is definitely the way we could be. Yeah. Well, you think that the team that started on the weekend against Southampton, that starting lineup with a couple of guys coming back from injury, like Thomason, for instance, Rathbone, get those guys back, and then all of a sudden you put, Broadhead and a couple of others on the bench. Holy dooly, that's a whole different animal, isn't it, that we're looking at then?
Yeah, it is, absolutely. That's kind of the point, yeah. Like if you could have a Kakache playing and then a Kakache equivalent on the bench, that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
And same for at least a Longman. Maybe by next season, we'll be looking at an upgrade on Longman. But then Longman is coming in off the bench,
Yeah, I agree. Agree 100% with that. I think we're absolutely already looking for strength in those positions. We need, a couple more defenders. I think we've got enough strikers, in my opinion, now. I don't think we need any more strikers.
Yeah, for the moment, certainly, yeah. Our defense is the weak line at the moment.
Yeah. And that showed. I mean, look, just the change in the lineups and the transition in the play at that point of the game on the weekend, you could definitely see that. That was definitely the case. And Steve's added again another 5 memberships, Paddy. He's going nuts. That's 10 memberships already this morning.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, and Paul Kelly got one. He's saying thank you. So interesting. And actually, how do you reckon Aaron James will go this morning, Paddy? Or today, I should say. I'll just say today. Yeah. How do you think he'll go today?
That's a curious one. I don't mind him playing because, again, Hull is starting with a weaker team, like we are. But it shows a lot of faith in him that he's been given this chance and opportunity. It may be his only chance this season to do this, because if we get through this and go up to the next level and get a Prem team, James won't be playing. Yeah,
exactly. And I liked him in a couple of the preseason games. I liked his speed. He looked like he was with his positional play. So but you're right. Like if we go ahead, if we went ahead and lost this match tonight, he mightn't get another start.
No, he might not. And this is another player that I didn't speak about earlier that may be in the shop window for a loan, whereas this may get him over the line on a loan with certain teams that are still kind of a little bit unsure.
Well, and haven't seen anything of him because he hasn't played.
He hasn't played enough. Yeah, he hasn't played enough in the eye that can be watched. Whereas tonight may be a real shop window for him.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, agreed. Bloody. I just think there's so much to look forward to tonight. Like between AO starting and hope and hit for his confidence levels for a strong performance. Scar and O'Connell side by side, Aaron James at the back. Look, right across the pitch, there's just so much to watch here.
I'm interested to see with the players that are on now that we are in discussions with, kind of on the Discord, talking about, are they good enough? Can they make the 25? If they don't have a very good game tonight, then that kind of draws the line under their name. No, sorry, there's no hope. Whereas if they actually come out here and dominate Hull at the start, at least it says something that they're still playing. And I do like our bench. So if we're not winning it, like I assume we're going to go hard in the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes to win the match then, if we're not doing so already. So it'll be a nice finish to this match, if we need to bring on all those players in order to try and win it.
Absolutely.
I hope we don't have to, but if we do, we do. I would love to get through to the next round just to have a shot at a Prem team. I would really love. It's been so long with all the cup matches, we've never got them over the last 3 seasons. So I've had enough of playing championship clubs in the cups. I would love to get a Prem team, even if we get bounced by them quite easily. I'd still love to watch it and maybe go to it, depending on how it falls out, whether we're home away, stuff like that.
Absolutely. And Steve Barton, another 10 memberships, guys. That's fantastic.
Oh, wow, Steve.
So that's 20 now. A to Z EV, been a member now for 8 months. That's fantastic. And I'm just going to duck back up to Ruth H. Ruth H made a good comment there. I noticed Rev is not on the bench. Yes, I think Rev is a really, really big chance of not making our squad and being sent out on loan.
There's a lot of chatter on the back rooms saying that Rev is very close or already signed on a loan, that he's about to be announced.
Yep. And actually, and it's Ruth H again. This is one that I think we should pivot to, Paddy. Wonder how the pitch holds up. Does anyone know if the players had a chance to practice on it?
I doubt it.
They definitely haven't. And I actually think the pitch is going to be fantastic. I've been watching it through the Wrexham AFC Fan Zone channel. That guy that does the videos every day, and obviously because I'm captain of my golf club and I know a fair bit about grass and that, the root zone will be excellent now. And so it should be fine.
It should be, according to everything we've been told. Yes, at this stage, it should be good.
And I tell you what, these boys are going to appreciate playing on a hybrid pitch at this. This is as good as it gets in terms of pitches.
It is, but you know what? I'm going to say this, and I don't know whether I should. Interestingly, because it's a brand new pitch to us, they're not going to know the bounce. They're not going to know the speed, the roll on this brand new pitch. And
there's no advantage, no hometown advantage now.
No, yeah, that's one of the home advantages. Now they'll know the size, of course, which is a big thing. But yeah, I wonder if Hull are used to playing on such a similar surface. Maybe the advantage will actually be to them, but probably not. They're all different anyway. But
yeah. I mean, look, I think absolutely. It's going to be an interesting game. I mean, look, all the pitches now are you're able to go and play at each ground with confidence because they're all at this level. It's not like League Two and League One and National League.
Yeah.
No, well, National League, we're playing on some synthetic pitches.
Real different standards, yeah.
And then you're playing on some, and then the pitch where Mendy got injured, it was like playing on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, it is really, it's going to be great to watch. I'm going to be interested to see the 2 screens they put up at the end, the 2 LED screens, what they're actually playing on those, because they're not massive screens, but they're bigger screens. And then how many security guards / workers have they got in the old cop to retrieve the balls that get kicked over the fence?
Yeah, I'm sure they've arranged some form of netting.
Well, we'll see. We'll see today.
There was comment in Discord on that saying that some poles went up today to hold the netting, but they were pouring the concrete earlier today, so the poles weren't even in the ground this morning. But a bit of quick cement, quick dry cement.
Yeah. Well, hopefully when Hull are playing to that end, they do have to retrieve a lot of them, and when we're playing to that end, it's nothing's required because the ball's going in the back of the net. And Char McAvoy is saying the netting is up. So there you go. Well, I can't wait to see it. So Char, are you at the ground or are you a local? Like, how do you know? Yeah.
Well, we've seen videos of it coming up and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm literally, what do we got? We're only 25 minutes to kick off, Paddy. So it's getting close.
When are we When are we handing over to Josh? 10 minutes before?
We will get out of here 10 minutes before, so we've got 15 minutes. We've got 15 minutes left. Josh will come on 5 minutes before game time, guys.
Yeah. So this is the fun of cups, though. Today, let's get back to the match just a little bit. It's interesting to see these players, and some people have been saying, "Oh, well, this is the final send off." It might be for some of these players. Thinking about it, this could be the last cup match, and I would love it to be a win and a nice, comfortable win as well. So I want the big match. I want us to pull a massive team and just have a bit of fun.
Yeah. You want a Man U, a Liverpool, you want one of those.
Arsenal to repeat the cup history versus Arsenal will be interesting.
Yeah. You imagine getting, well, for the local fans, getting a Liverpool or a Manchester United, which is a nice close city to get to.
Yeah.
And get to go play in a massive stadium.
Yeah. Huge away fans.
Yeah. Stand will be full and coming up against an absolute behemoth. Yeah, I'm with you, Paddy. I want that as well.
Yeah, we've been so unlucky to miss out on that the last couple of seasons. I've been watching the draws all the time, and then another League One team, another Championship team, and they were fun. The Coventry match was fun. Sheffield United matches were good, so they were fun cup competitions.
The interesting part about it now, though, Paddy, is the fact that, look at this lineup today would be the lineup that you'd play if you were protecting your squad, if you're sort of struggling a bit. This lineup today, totally capable of beating National League, League Two, and League One squads.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the only new boys really are Smith and Hardy, obviously, up the front. Everybody else is kind of our standard team.
Yep. And and the only guys that aren't really absolute, you've got Ashfield, Aaron James. That's really it that you'd say are the ones that you wouldn't be. Yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. This is a big club like Birmingham City. And that I'm taking that comment straight back down.
No, look, I'm all for the drama and the stories. Why not? I love the idea of the Hollywood FC matches.
Actually, I'll tell you what I did do.
The Hollywood Derby. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, the Hollywood Derby. I'll tell you what I did
Hollywood Derby. I like it.
I did finish watching the Birmingham documentary yesterday, and it was just, I struggled to get through it. It just really, oh my God. It was a little bit like, is it because I'm not a Birmingham fan and I'm a Wrexham fan that I wasn't as into it?
It's so different. It's so different. Like a lot of the way they shot it and interviews and stuff like that, it does look like a little bit of a rip-off of what we've done. Now, look, I don't really care about that, to be honest, but they just didn't have the style of it. And Brady is the wrong person to head up that type of show, because he's a producer on the show, So I'm assuming he actually looked at a lot of these clips of himself that they were using.
Yeah.
And he looked at it and said, yeah, go ahead, boys. Use those clips because that'll make me look like a normal person.
Him throwing footballs on the beach with his kids, like seriously. Anyway, but this is funny. Aaron, time to ban Webby. Yeah, well, Webby. Well, actually, why don't we just give Webby his first strike right now, Paddy, for saying things like that about Birmingham? You know, I'm trying. We love you guys. Yeah. Oh, there you go. See, John Merrill, and there's John's point. He's with me. He can't watch Welcome to Wrexham because it holds zero interest to him. But could you watch the Birmingham one? Did you fly through it? Like, you know, I guess that's the point.
For me?
No, for John.
Oh,
I mean, what?
Yeah.
And what about you, Paddy? I mean,
I'm in between on it. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was exactly what I expected it to be honest. And I enjoyed it just to see Brady and to see his antics, like the silliness and the Americanisms coming out and stuff like that. So different in interaction with the fans and stuff. And I kind of expected that. Now, I am one of the few maybe that is a little bit critical of Welcome to Wrexham from my own personal viewing opinion.
What you want to watch.
What I want. I enjoy Welcome to Wrexham. I like the way it's shot. The stories are okay. I want it to go more football heavy. But that's me. And I understand what they're doing with it. And I understand who it's for. It's not necessarily for me. And I can absolutely understand why someone like John Merrill wouldn't watch Welcome to Wrexham, because there would be so few things in it that would catch his attention. So basically, I would say John Merrill is a more extreme case of me. You know, there's stuff in there that I'm okay, it's fun. Get back to football.
There's a show we could talk about. John Merrill is a more extreme case of Paddy.
in this case.
Even Giselle can't stand by Brady. Well, you know, a lot of people would get a leave pass for Giselle, but she, you know, I think she went to the yoga instructor, didn't she? So whatever. But no, that's funny. But I mean, look, it's just interesting the perspective you have as a fan when you're watching something, and then, you know, like Welcome to Wrexham, I love it. Like for me, I understand what you're saying, Paddy. You want to see the more football in the football stuff, and I really love some of the stories that they've told about some of the people in the town. So I'm that way, you know, because I get my football watching the football.
Yeah.
And that's just everyone's different, you know. There's no right or wrong. So yeah, except we're right and Birmingham's wrong. That's what I will say.
Leading off that, then this comment is quite interesting. I came for the documentary. I'm now very interested in finding out what the real fan atmosphere is like.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Well, I've been over there. I have gone to matches, multiple matches, home and away. If you have the opportunity to do so, I would absolutely recommend it. I don't know what your level of involvement is in football / soccer, if you use the word.
Commentator for Paddy. She's is commentator for Servette FC, so a big football fan, Department of Redundancy Department.
Yeah, I assume you are a big fan and probably have a lot of interest in the English leagues. But I think you said Switzerland, were you? Or is that just a holiday at the moment? So yeah, it's a quick flight over for you from Geneva. It's like kind of like me flying over from Helsinki. Bit of a drive, rent a car or whatever, drive up to Wrexham, no big deal.
Not far to come from there.
Yeah. And actually, what I would love to do, I don't know if I can probably get around to doing it this season. At some point, I would love to arrange a group watch. Probably because the COP not being up, maybe next year when the COP is there, I would actually love to arrange a group of Local Pundit fans that go at the same time for the same match. And, you know, maybe 10, 15, 20 of us all go for the same match and meet up over there, have some drinks or whatever, get together, have dinner. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. So John, to be honest, John's asking whether look, just quickly, I've missed it. It slid right by me. Steve Barton, another 5 memberships. Good on you, Steve. Bloody everybody, memberships are coming thick and fast today. John Merrill's asked whether Hull have gone strong. I haven't looked at the whole lineup because, to be honest, the show has flown right by. And we've only got 5 minutes left, so that's all good. We'll just continue on the chat. I think this team's good enough to go out and get the job done anyway. And I want to see a good, strong performance by this lineup tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I paid no attention to the whole team as to whether they're strong or not for this one tonight, because John Merrill was asking about it. We've made a lot of changes, and he thinks Hull have gone strong.
I think it's a question mark at the end there. So yeah.
So
I think, look, ultimately, I just want to see us play well tonight, and I want to see us play a very, very similar style of football that we played on the weekend against Southampton. I want to see that speed, and I don't see it in this lineup, to be fair. I don't see O'Brien.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether we kind of follow along with the newer tactics, or whether we revert back to type. Now, I'm not either way. It doesn't really matter, as long as we win the bloody thing. But it will be like if Hull have gone strong, and Aaron is kind of saying they have as well. He's had a look at it. It will be interesting because I kind of think, bar the young guys, because you can have an off game when you're young. Leaving them aside for the moment, I kind of think I'd be interested to see how our last year's team fares against Hull, who are expected to be a lower end championship team this season.
Well, so, and if they have gone strong and we do hang with them, Paddy, come exactly. 60th, 70th minute mark, we bring these subs on, we might be able to finish them off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the point. But even if we can beat them with the first string, like we could be leading coming into the end of it as well.
That's true.
Even if we have to revert back to some old school tactics to do it with our old school team, it would be just interesting to see us still be able to hang together with a potentially weaker team.
And some of these players tight back up early in the season, if they're from Hull, they might come out with some tired legs.
Yeah.
It's funny to say, like 2 games into the season, but it's not so much about being 2 games, only 2 games in. It's about the short backup.
Yeah. Is McBurney in for their squad? John is saying he's in for his debut, so that'll absolutely be one to watch.
I missed that. Sorry, what was that, Paddy? Where's that comment?
McBurney.
Oh, McBurney in for his debut.
Yep, there it is. Yep. So if he's playing tonight on his first match,
he is playing. I did see him in their lineup. Yes.
Okay, so he'll be an interesting one to watch then from the start.
Yeah. So it's going to be. I mean, look, guys, we are only 12 minutes away from kickoff. We are 7 minutes away from Josh coming on to do the watch along. So we're in our last minute or so here, Paddy. So why don't we get into wrapping up, guys? We've had 130 people in here. I'm not too sure what the likes are so far because I'm in the stream out, not on YouTube. A big thanks to Steve Barton, $5 super chat, and then he has gifted 25 memberships today. So fantastic effort by Steve, as per usual. Yeah, 53 likes. Yeah, 130 people watching. Come on, people. Before you get out of here, make sure you hit that like button. And Paddy, over to you. Have you last thoughts for you on the game today?
Go out with a bang, guys. Go out with a bang. Either way, look, whatever happens in the match, I want to see them go for it. The whole team, the way we saw them in League One, when they were doing well, top of the league, fighting against Birmingham. I want to see that today, whatever the result is. Yeah,
and score prediction, Paddy? You got a score prediction for us for tonight?
This is one of the hardest ones. Let's go with a 1-0 Wrexham.
Okay, I'm going to go fair enough, and I'm going to go for a reverse of the weekend, a 2-1 win to Wrexham as opposed to a 2-1 loss. So
Yeah.
I think that's a fair call. We're both going for the victory. Guys, well, look, on that bombshell, don't forget, you got 5 more minutes before Josh comes on for the watch along. Get ready. This show was 1,001. Josh, 1,002. On that bombshell, guys, enjoy the game and let's go Wrexham.
Take care, everyone.